Hello dear students and welcome to the new session of the physics. Now today we are going to discuss about some new topics of the chapter electromagnetic induction. In the previous lecture we have seen about what is the electromagnetic induction. If there is a rapidly changing magnetic field across any conductor, then it produces the EMF or current into the conductor. This is called electromagnetic field. We have seen in the previous lecture what is the Faraday's law and what is the Lenz's law. The equation for the Faraday's law is E is equals to minus d is equals to d phi by dt. While writing the Lenz's law, we should write it as a E is equals to minus d phi by dt. Why there is a minus sign? Because the induced EMF which is opposite to the change in magnetic field. Now in the today's lecture we are going to discuss about the relation between Lenz's law and Faraday's law, or we can derive some new equations between Lenz's law and Faraday's law. So what is the relation between Faraday's law and Lenz's law? So what is the equation for the Faraday's law? The equation for Faraday's law is equals to d phi by dt. Induced EMF in the coil is directly proportional to rate of change in magnetic flux into the coil. Now according to Lenz's law, what is the difference? E is equals to minus d phi by dt. So we put the only negative sign in front of it. If you are using the negative sign here, then it becomes minus d phi by dt, because the induced EMF which is introduced due to the change in magnetic flux, afterwards it starts opposing to the change in magnetic flux. So E is equals to minus d phi by dt is the equation. Now what we have the equation for phi. What is the magnetic induction? If you look at the equation of magnetic induction, then what is the magnetic induction is magnetic flux per unit area. What is the equation for magnetic induction? Magnetic flux per unit area. So magnetic flux becomes magnetic induction into area. Put the value of this in our equation of the induced EMF. So we can write E is equals to minus d by dt. What is the equation of phi? It is BA. Magnetic induction can be changed, but what about the area? Then it does not change. So we can take the A outside, minus A dB by dt. This can be a new form of equation for induced current. So what would be the relation between the Faraday's law and Lenz's law? So we can derive the different type of the equation for the Lenz's law or Faraday's law. Simply the difference is, while writing the equation for the Faraday's law, there is no negative sign, while in that case of the Lenz's law we are using the negative sign, because the induced EMF opposes to the change in magnetic flux. So this is about a simple difference between these two, where B is the magnetic induction which gives the strength of the magnetic field. What is the power of the magnetic field? It is given by B. So this is about the one topic. After that we have the next one, that is a motional electromotive force. Motional means due to the motion of an object. Motion means here the conductor is continuously moving. Either the conductor is moving in a uniform magnetic field or the magnetic field is changing. So we can change the position of the conductor in two different ways. We have two different cases in this. So what is the first case? In motional electromotive force, we consider the first case translational motion of a conductor. Translational and rotational, these are the two cases. The first case is about the translational motion of the conductor. So what is the case? We consider one loop of the wire. So this is a single loop of the wire. Out of that, these are the three sides which are fixed. We have a single side, that side is the BC. What is the name of the loop? A, B, C and D. This is the name of the loop. So this is a rectangular loop where only the BC can be moved without the friction. So this is without friction, it can move forward and backward side. Otherwise the other three sides are fixed. Now where it is kept in the uniform magnetic field. This loop of the conductor is placed in uniform magnetic field. So this cross blue lines can be represented by, these are used to represent the magnetic field. So A, B, C, D is a rectangular frame of the wire where BC is only the side which can move without friction, is placed in uniform magnetic induction of magnetic field B. Now what will happen if you are moving the side BC in the uniform field? Suppose if you are holding the BC and if you are taking away or if you are taking towards the AD, if you are moving this BC, what will happen? The magnetic field across the BC becomes changed. So if the magnetic field across BC change, which produces the current in the BC according to electromagnetic induction. Now what is the length here? Here the length AD, or we can call it as a BC. The length is L. And what is the distance between this AB? This can be changed and this can be denoted by X. So understood what is the concept? If you are moving the BC in the uniform magnetic field, the magnetic field across the BC changed, and due to that the EMF is introduced into the conductor that can produces the current in the conductor. That current is the induced current. Now how can we write the value of the induced EMF into the conductor? In this conductor, how we can write the value of induced EMF? The value of induced EMF is given by E is equals to d phi by dt according to Faraday's law. E is equals to d phi by dt. How can you write the equation for the phi? What is B? B is phi upon T. Or if you write the equation for it, phi B is equals to phi upon T. What about phi becomes? Phi upon A, area, magnetic flux per unit area is the magnetic induction. What about phi? B into area. What about area here? B. What about the area? So we can write length into breadth. Length into breadth is the area. So we should write it as a Lx. Lx is the area. So Blx is the value of the phi. Put the value of the phi in above equation of the E. What will happen? If we put it the values of these, then what will happen? E is equals to d by dt. What about the value of phi? It is Blx. What is constant here? The constant terms of B and L. B and L are constant. These B means the magnitude of the magnetic field, and length of BC does not change. What can be changed? The X can be changed. X is depending on the position of the BC. If you are moving towards or away from the AD, this can move without friction. So if this is moving, then the value of X is continuously changing. So only the changing term in this equation is the A. So we can write d by dt X. What is X? X is the distance. What is distance upon time? Rate of change in distance is called velocity. So we can write E is equal to BLV. This is the one equation for induced EMF in this case. So this is the value of induced EMF, BLV. Understood? So this is the one case. Now the derivation is half done. What about the second part? In that case, we consider one charge, that is a Q. As if you are changing the magnetic field across the length BC, then it produces the induced EMF. It means it produces the current. That current is due to the charge Q. Current will flow, means charge Q also will flow from one end to second to one. So it will moving towards the BC from C to B, B to C. Continuously this charge is moving into the side BC because current is produced. What is the force experienced by this charge Q? The magnitude of the force is given by the Lorentz force. What is the equation of the Lorentz force? The equation of the Lorentz force is given by F is equals to Q V cross product of B. V is the velocity. So magnitude of the Lorentz force is given by, understood what is the Q? Q is the charge which is moving in the length of the conductor. So it is total, it moving along the length of L, and magnitude of the charge Q. The force acting on the charge due to uniform magnetic field is given by this equation is the force. So force is applied on the charge. Displacement along the L is take place. Force is applied. Displacement along L is take place. It means there is a work done is done. So what about the magnitude of the work done? The magnitude of the work done is given by force, and this is about the displacement. What about the work done? Work done means force into displacement. So what is the magnitude of the force put here? So it is Q V cross product of B into L. So what will happen? So in the next equation we can write Q V B L sin theta. So there is a cross product between V and B. So work done becomes Q V B sin theta. It is the value of work done. How can you write the new equation for induced EMF? As in the 9th standard you know that what is the potential difference? Potential difference means work done to carry the unit charge. What is potential difference? From 9th standard, the definition of potential difference is work done to carry the unit charge. So here V is the voltage, here not there is a voltage, here we have the EMF. So how can you write the same equation for E? E is equals to W upon Q. So voltage can be replaced by EMF of the charge. So EMF, induced EMF is equals to W upon Q. Put the value of W here. What will happen? E is equals to, what is the value? Q V B L sin theta divided by Q. So Q will be cancelled. What is the remaining term? E is equals to V B L sin theta. The magnitude of the theta is maximum. Suppose E is maximum. From this equation, when the E can be maximum, if the sin theta is maximum. So when the sin theta becomes maximum, if the theta is 90 degree. If the theta is 90 degree, then sin 90 becomes 1. So E maximum becomes, the value of E max becomes, so maximum when the theta is 90, sin 90 is 1. The remaining term is BLV, equation 2. Now compare the equations, equation 1 and compare the equation 2. What is your conclusion about the equation number 1 and 2? From these two equations we can see that the magnitude of the induced EMF along the length of the conductor BC and the magnitude of the EMF along the charge Q, it is same. There is no difference between the induced EMF along the length of the conductor, or there is no difference between induced EMF in along the charge Q. The magnitude of both the EMFs in this case is completely same. So Faraday introduced a new equation, or it gives the new, discover a new law which gives the relation between electric field and magnetic field. The law is given as, in a region where the magnetic field is changing with the time, electric field are generated. In a region where the magnetic field is changing, it produces the electric field as well. So electric field also produced across the conductor when there is a change in magnetic field across the conductor. So this is the new law which is given by the Faraday. So this is about the equation. So when there is a translational motion of the conductor, here the length of the conductor BC can move without friction. So this motion is the translational motion. Translational means linear motion. It is moving in a linear path. What will happen if the conductor is rotating in a uniform magnetic field? What will be the equation of the induced EMF? So these equations are the equations for the induced EMF. So equation is same. Equations for induced EMF when the conductor is translationally moving, when it is linearly moving. What will happen if the conductor is rotating in the uniform magnetic field? So this is the next case. What about the next situation? Motional of the conductor, that is a rotational motion of the conductor. Now the next case is motional EMF in a rotating bar. Motion of the conductor is like a rotating bar. If the motion of the conductor is rotational motion, in rotational motion what will happen? I'll consider one conductor. I'll consider one length of the conductor. So this is not a magnet, it is a conductor. Consider one conductor which is placed in uniform magnetic field. So this represents the this blue cross lines represents the magnetic field. So the conductor is placed in uniform magnetic field. So what is the total length of the conductor? The total length of the conductor is denoted by L. Total length of the conductor is denoted by L. Out of that we consider one small length of the conductor, that is a dr. So how to determine the value of induced EMF? Initially we can determine the value of induced EMF for small surface area dr. If you are getting the value of E for dr, afterwards you can determine the value of total induced EMF across the length L of the conductor by taking the integration of induced EMF across the dr. So what is the method? So initially we determine the induced EMF for dr. Afterwards, by taking the integration, we can determine the total induced EMF across the length L of the conductor. So here the length we have considered a small length element dr. What is the length of the conductor from this end? The distance of the conductor from dr from one end is denoted by small r. Now, how to get the value of induced EMF across the length dr? The induced EMF is given by dE is equal to BV dr. Now how we have derived this equation? From the previous topic, what is the E? E is equal to BLV. Same equation we have written here, only the difference is this equation is for the total induced EMF, but this is not for the total induced EMF. What is the difference? E is the total induced EMF. Here we have to determine the E for dr. So we use dE. dE is the induced EMF for length element dr. What is B? B is already there. V is already there. What about the L? L is the length of the conductor. But here the small piece of the conductor, the length is dr. So instead of L we have written here as a dr. So this is the value of induced EMF in this case. Now how to determine the total induced EMF? We have the value of induced EMF for small element dr. So how to determine the total induced EMF for complete length of the conductor? In that case, the total E is given by by taking the integration for small induced EMF dE. If you are taking the integration of the small dE, we are getting the value of total induced EMF. What is the limit? The initial is 0, maximum length of the conductor is L. So we can write the limit as a 0 to L. Minimum length of the conductor is 0, maximum length of the conductor is L. So put the value of dE, what will happen? Integration of 0 to L B V D R. Now in this equation, put the value of V from chapter number 1, rotational dynamics. What is the V? V is given by R omega. This equation gives the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity. Now put the value of this here instead of V. What will happen? Total induced EMF becomes integration of 0 to L B R omega dr. Now what are the constant terms in this equation? Here B omega are constant. Take them outside. What will happen? B omega constant, integration of 0 to L. What is the remaining term? R dr. What is the formula to find the integration of this equation? What is the standard equation? Integration of x raised to n dx becomes x raised to n plus 1 upon n plus 1 plus c. When we use the constant c, if the integration has no limit, if the integration has no limit, then only we take the constant c. But here our equation has a limit from 0 to L, so no requirement of the c. How can you apply the same equation here? So integration of r raised to, what is the value of n here? 1 dx dr. So x, what is the x? X is here x is the r. So r raised to n, what is the value of n here? N is 1 plus 1 upon 1 plus 1. So it becomes r square by 2. This is the equation becomes. So b omega as it is, integration of this term becomes r square by 2. R square by 2. So this is the integration. So take it separately, half outside b omega r square. This is the final equation for induced EMF when the conductor is placed and it is rotating in a uniform magnetic field. If it is kept rotating